Good morning, honorable members and colleagues, department. Chairperson is still struggling with a network, colleagues. So we will wait, or I will start the meeting. He will
Recording in
continue.
progress.
So by 5 past 10, if he's still struggling, we will continue. And then you'll find us on our way, because we cannot
Recording
wait,
stopped.
whereas we are there, all of us.
Okay, Chairperson, thank you so much.
Okay,
Thanks,
Chair. Thanks, Chairperson.
Thanks, Mama. Good morning once more, honorable members, colleagues.
Recording in progress.
The representative from the department and the entity. In the meantime, while the chairperson is still struggling again, I'm continuing with the meeting. He will find us on our way. We cannot wait, whereas the people who are supposed to present, they are in the meeting. So everybody is welcome. If there are people from the province, the rep from the province, you are also welcome. You can participate in this meeting. You know, in the NCOP, the rep from the provincial legislatures are participating in our meeting. You are welcome, everybody. Secretary of the committee, I just want to get the agenda of today. Committee secretary. Committee Secretary. Haibo.
Hello, Chair. I've just shared the agenda.
Hey, but I can't see it. What is the agenda? Say it.
The agenda is a briefing by NEMISA on its mandate, challenges, and achievements, with a focus on transforming the South African electronic media sector. The second one will be considering an adoption of minutes, Chair.
Okay. Okay, thanks. And then do we have any apologies on your side?
Yes, Chair. I have two apologies, one from Honorable Nana, the second one from Honorable Debray.
Okay.
Oh, Chair, sorry, Chair, there's also an apology from the Minister. Thank you, Chair. But
And
the Deputy
also,
is on the platform.
or the Deputy Minister is on the platform. No,
Yes, Chair.
when the deputy is here, we don't have any problem. As usually, he's in the meeting, Deputy Minister. Deputy Minister, you are welcome to our committee meeting. Before I give, okay. Honorable members, I put in front of you the apologies of three members, including the chair, although the chair will join. But I just want to put it for record purpose. For record purpose. Someone, Sello, Mama Lulek. Ntate Sello Malulek. Can you mute, please, Pa? There are three apologies and the agenda of today. I put in front of you for adoption, honorable members.
Chairperson, BP adopts, BP adopts the apologies and also the agenda as it is. Thank you.
Thank you. Any seconder? Any seconder? Okay, let me second Mama. I second the apology. I move for the adoption of the apology and the agenda of today. Without any wasting of time, let me give the Deputy Minister to say something and maybe give us an overview of this entity, and then he will automatically give to the chairperson or whoever in the entity who's going to do a presentation on behalf of the entity. Deputy Minister.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Greetings to yourself and greetings to all the honorable members on the platform and colleagues from both the department and the entities, the Director General present. Chair, we don't want to make a long introduction. Just safe to say that we are here to prepare your invitation to come and present you on NEMISA's performance and challenges. NEMISA is one of those entities in the department that are performing relatively well. I must say that we are happy that in the previous financial year, they obtained a clean audit from the Auditor General. They were given a clean bill of health. It's in terms of the targets, NEMISA is doing very well in obtaining the target that it set for itself. So we're quite happy with the performance that NEMISA is it's having, Chair. obviously would like to ramp up this performance, particularly around the digital skills development. As you know, in terms of the strategy, NEMISA is one of our entities that is at the forefront of implementing the National Digital and Future Skills Strategy. We'd like to ramp up performance in as far as that area is concerned. We are also working with the private sector partners to get them to partner with us so that we can massify the digital skills development. We have already received confirmation. Last year, Chair, we hosted the Digital Skills Conference in the Eastern Cape in East London. At that conference, we received a number of pledges from the private sector partners to work with us, to work with NEMISA around the area of digital skills development. So we are following up on those pledges, Chair. NEMISA itself is partnering with a number of entities and working with them to roll out skills development. So I'm going to take this opportunity, Chair, just to invite the leadership of NEMISA. I was trying to check if the Chair is here. If the Chair is in the meeting, can just do the introductory remarks. And then the CEO, Mr. Trevor Ramija, will take us through the prepared presentation. And if there are any questions, the Director General is on the platform and here, and other colleagues from the department. Is the Chair in the house?
Chairperson of the meeting, my name is Nomonde Hlachaneni. I am standing in for the chairperson in this meeting. She is unable to attend. So in that regard, from what the Deputy Minister is saying, I will just add to the fact that NEMISA over the years has been sharpening its competitive edge through partnerships, through learning from the minor mistakes that were identified, and through ensuring that we manage the talent according to the trends that we are seeing in terms of skills that are in demand, in terms of critical skills, especially in the digital world. So on that note, chairperson of the meeting, on behalf of NEMISA, I hereby indicate that this organization is on the cutting edge of things when it comes to its readiness to take on the world, to be competitive in this stage of a digital economy. And we have amassed, as the Deputy Minister has indicated, we have amassed the higher education sector and the private sector to a great extent that we think, despite our minor challenges and with the assistance of everyone in the House, we are going to ensure that NEMISA is going to deliver on its mandate. Our CEO will be the presenter of the detail of our main presentation today, as was requested. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you. You can continue to present.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. I'll just show my video for a short while, just so that members can see me, to say greetings to the honorable members and the Chairperson. It is indeed a pleasure for NEMISA to be presenting on its achievements and challenges. today to the select committee. And I will not take too much time and just share the presentation. I hope that you can see it. Chair?
Yes, we can see it.
Thank you very much, Chair. So, Chairperson, this presentation to the Select Committee is about NEMISA achievements and challenges. Just going straight into the mandate, just to remind ourselves of the mandate. NEMISA, being the National Electronic Media Institute of South Africa, was established as a non-profit institute for education. And it has been established in terms of the Companies Act, and it's listed as a Schedule 3A public entity. So we subscribe to the PFMA. And our mandate is to develop creative media and digital skills for South Africans. So the Institute's programs are structured to enhance the market readiness of beneficiaries in creative media and digital technologies. You'll remember that, or for those that can remember, Chairperson, NEMISA was initially mandated to develop broadcasting skills, but this has since been expanded to include the broader creative media skills, but also digital technologies. So we target the youth, women, people with disabilities, SMMEs, government, rural and township areas. So we prioritize those. And in terms of the impact, vision and impact statement, our vision is to see a digitally transformed society in the future, and the impact being an accelerated use of digital technologies to improve the quality of life of South Africans. These are just our values. I'll not dwell too much into them. It's agility. We strive to be agile. Partnerships are critical, as collaboration is one of our values, and integrity, professionalism, as well as commitment and excellence. In terms of our strategic focus areas, which have been developed, following numerous board strategic planning sessions, we have about 8 of those. The first 3 are really about the inside of NEMISA, while the others are more externally oriented. So we strive to strengthen human capital capacity at NEMISA by filling vacant positions, upskilling the current staff, and also driving employee wellness, but also advancing NEMISA as an institution. And we realize that NEMISA brand needs to be strengthened. So we need to be more strategic and also to improve on research and development. And then the other one is organizational change. And this has to do with really getting NEMISA to be in that cutting edge space that the member spoke about, so that we are agile and our culture supports that as well and is responsive to the latest developments. And now critical amongst this as well is partnerships, which have been mentioned. We realize that we will not be able to achieve this big mandate on our own, and therefore we forge partnerships to create an ecosystem of digital skills development with various partners in government, private sector, and the NGO space or NPO space. We have identified basic education and post-schooling sector as critical in line with the National Digital and Future Skills Strategy to say we need to expose our people to digital skills at an early age. Therefore, we realize that partnerships with these sectors, especially the basic education and the higher education and training, is critical. We also have identified SMME digital entrepreneurship as critical, since technologies drive how business is done, and therefore adopting e-commerce and other technology tools can really enhance the performance of our SMMEs. Creative media and broadcasting remain to be very important. And here, as the industry is evolving, which I'll touch on in the next slide, shows that really there are many new things that are developing, and therefore we need to develop our skills in line with those developments as well. So in terms of the electronic media and technological transformation, the context is indicating that audiovisual and mediums and communications remain key drivers of the industry. And however, what has rapidly changed is the quality, the speed, and access to content produced by the industry, as well as the democratization of content development itself, because it used to be mainstream broadcasting houses. However, lately, anyone from anywhere can just share the news, and therefore the skills that we need to develop need to be done in a strategic manner. Also, increasing social diversity has played a major role in advancing the industry. As we can see, social media platforms have come up, and they drive a lot of how we consume content. Accelerated use of digital platforms and social networking sites, it means that this industry is changing indeed. Streaming services have come through very quickly, and this is taking us in terms of the leap, and therefore we need to develop skills that are relevant as well. And massive increase in podcasting and creating many opportunities for employers who can produce content at personal and organizational level. User-generated content, as I mentioned as well, and the end of analog transmission is to have a huge impact in broadcasters. We have therefore responded in terms of our offerings. We have full certificate qualifications through MICT in radio production. That includes podcasting, television and film production, 2D and 3D animation. This is another industry that we need to grow phenomenally and therefore requires a lot of skills, interactive media technologies, as well as graphic design. We have also introduced short courses in the likes of your podcasting, as I said, storytelling using a mobile device where a person can use any device, tablet or a cell phone to tell their own stories, live streaming, digital photography, newsroom skills, and future-proofing community media workshops that we have done for community radio stations. So in terms of our achievements from an administration point of view, it has been mentioned by the Deputy Minister that we received a clean audit to improve the reputation of the organization. And we have also reduced irregular expenditure. A couple of years back, there was, just to cite an example, an irregular expenditure relating to the lease agreement that NEMISA entered into many years back from around 2009. And this has been cleared. NEMISA has been able to vacate that premises, and we are now at SABC. And therefore, we are very much dealing with this issue so that we clean out the books of the organization. Also, in terms of the APP performance, the Honorable Deputy Minister has mentioned, in the last 3 years, we've been above 90% in all our performance targets. And we've also established a risk management system and control that we monitor very closely on a monthly basis. And therefore, there's improved risk management culture and efficiency in order to successfully deliver on the said mandate. We've also have an approved revised organizational structure that is aiming at capacitating the organization so that we can be able to deliver on the mandate. We've also implemented a transformation and change strategy that supports the key areas that need to be improved, which is IT systems, curriculum, and human resources capacity. We've also introduced employee wellness service and skills development for employees. In terms of the challenges relating to administration, of course, the organization culture still have a way to go. We are not as to where we would like to be. And also the suitability of the current NEMISA building needs to be improved. And therefore we've developed a refurbishment plan and the need to create job stability for fixed term contracts. But what is resolving this is that with the new organization structure that we are implementing, that will be resolved now. And also the inability to attract and retain employees due to the non-competitive salaries. So we've started with benchmarkings to ensure that NEMISA comes to par with what similar organizations are paying, of course, taking into account budgetary constraints as well. In terms of partnerships, we have achievements and challenges as well. And in terms of achievements, we have really established strategic partnerships with the likes of our OEMs, Microsoft, Google, AWS. Lately, we have Cisco, and we are able to access their platform's content. For instance, Microsoft alone, we have more than 1,500 courses that are certified through Microsoft and are available to our young people and South Africans. We've also partnered with DBE, the Department of Basic Education, and we've started training teacher assistants. I think we've gone over 32,000 teacher assistants that we have trained thus far. And we are aiming at going to teachers and eventually that we influence curriculum for learners to also receive these trainings, in particular digital literacy, coding and robotics and so forth. With the Department of Higher Education and Training, we are introducing creative media skills delivery at TVET colleges and CET colleges, but also digital skills as well. And we're striving to partner with SETAs. To start with, we have MICT SETA, Bank SETA, and P-SETA, and we are expanding. And in terms of the challenge, we really have a challenge around partnerships when it comes to funding expectations from some of the potential partners, that expect that NEMISA would be fully funding those partnerships, while we expect them to make a contribution. So since NEMISA has a limited budget, so that is usually a challenge. These are just some of the partnerships. We still have core labs. We have 8 core labs currently that are trying to get NEMISA's operating model or delivery model to reach all the provinces. We have Northwest University core lab. We have Vaal University core lab that covers Gauteng and Northern Cape. We're working with Sol Plaatje to establish a dedicated core lab there in the Northern Cape. And we have DUT for KZN, University of Mpumalanga for Mpumalanga Province, Walter Sisulu University for the Eastern Cape, and we have Western Cape University, as well as Central University of the Free State for Free State, and the University of Limpopo. In terms of achievements on skills development, in the last 2 years, for example, we didn't count this year's numbers, which will be quite big as well. In basic digital literacy, we've been able to train 137,880 learners, and the majority of which would be women. There's a breakdown of this in the presentation, and youth as well, reaching rural areas. And we've also trained 10,973 SMMEs, startups or new SMMEs, as well as existing SMMEs, both in the formal and informal sectors. And they are now able to adopt digital tools to trade. We've also trained in emerging technologies 6,579. This includes the likes of your data science, robotics, AI, machine learning, and others. Cybersecurity as well. We've also trained in creative media short courses and learnerships. Up to 700 young people have benefited. And we've introduced cell phone repairs. Just for the 2 years, it's 200. But over time, since we started, we are at 463 that we have trained. And many of these have started SMMEs that are currently now fixing cell phones in rural areas, but also selling accessories. We've also introduced learning management system, which is an online platform that is able to deliver learning anytime, anywhere. People can access it so long as they have data. We've also went on to drive to have it 0 rated, even though access to videos requires some data, but we are working on getting an offline format of the LMS. And we've also introduced technical skills courses, which are new cell phone repairs, broadband installations and maintenance, wireless internet service provision that would support our SA Connect project with skills, as well as digital and terrestrial television installations and maintenance. And we are researching further new programs that we can also develop. And the aim is to really develop SMMEs in telecoms and broadcasting services and internet service provision as well. We've introduced digital entrepreneurship. I did indicate that, and we would like to increase SMMEs adopting e-commerce and other digital tools. We've been able to achieve reaccreditation for creative media courses through MICT CETA, and there's a program called the Yarona Digital Literacy Program that is employing appointing digital ambassadors in their own localities. We train them and we release them into communities to train. And this is creating work opportunities for the ambassadors and also contributing to reduce digital illiteracy. And we've also developed an OTT platform, which is a streaming platform, which I can say is more like a combination of YouTube and Netflix at the same time. And we're collecting data around that, content. We're putting content in there that can help people in an edutainment approach for them to be able to access information about digital technologies. But we are since bringing in other channels. For instance, we have partnered with GCIS in this platform to open a government television channel there, streaming channel. And we're working with MDDA to start community radio stations having a streamed platform as well for all the community radio stations. So it's exciting. And in terms of challenges for skills development, the main ones is that we've inadequate infrastructure, especially for outbound delivery of training programs, connectivity challenges and lack of devices to enable training delivery, especially in rural areas. So we're trying to get partnerships to assist us with connectivity and sponsorships for resources, which is not normally coming as we may expect, but we are trying all the time. We have a limited budget to massify and expand training delivery and, to increase the number of trainers. Some young people in the rural areas, they don't have anything to eat. So when training comes, they expect to be given something, training toolkits and other incidentals. NEMISA has also achieved an average of 20% of online learning completion rate, in non-zero rated platforms such as Microsoft Training. However, a significant number of online learners do not complete training. This is a challenge. We know that on average worldwide, it's about 5% completion. We are at 20%, which is better, but we need to see more. For instance, in our learning management system, we have just over 300,000 people registered, but they are not completing in the manner that they should. Otherwise, we could be making bigger impact. So in terms of digital literacy demographics, just for 2022-23 as an example, we've been able to train 43,165 females, which shows that most of the people that are training are females. And we've reached all the provinces, even though some of the provinces, the numbers are smaller, that we need to increase as well over there. And in digital entrepreneurship, I think there's a presentation that has been corrected with the right number, especially for African, the Black people. However, in terms of race, the majority of people or SMMEs that we trained are owned by Black people, and training impacts us as SMMEs, leading to increased adoption of e-commerce business models, thus increasing reach and expanding potential customer base. The training also increases online presence for SMMEs. In creative media, we have trained beneficiaries to contribute high quality content production in social media spaces, and thus them being able to monetize their own content. The training also leads to increased development of creative media SMMEs because they set up their own SMMEs and they participate in the media industry and other relevant spaces. Beneficiaries also participate in the gig economy through freelancing and earning income on projects they get from time to time. In terms of digital literacy impact, we see reduced digital divide as more people use digital tools to improve their lives. Training enables the use of mobile devices for more work and personal purposes because of the training. For instance, 91% of the impact study that we did agreed or strongly agreed that training has made them more interested in exploring internet and other digital devices. These are people who were completely excluded. 97% of them indicated that they were interested in doing more advanced and specialist digital courses, which we are introducing to them. And training had helped them to become more productive and efficient in their work. They used their devices to scan, to create and manage documents, and they had started using mobile devices to search and apply for job vacancies. And also 65% of them said they were, for example, using mobile banking applications to transact. So indeed, this is making a huge contribution. In terms of emerging technology trainings, respondents' level of confidence have increased, particularly in applying for jobs in the ICT industry, because they are now skilled. And females also get empowered, in an area that is male dominated, and they gain confidence to enter the ICT space. Our training delivery channels, in terms of training itself, we have online, blended, and face-to-face. And as I said, we use those platforms that are below each block to drive this. And we also make sure that we provide learner support through partnerships by accessing devices. We tried reverse billing, but we realized that it needs to be controlled, and we are aiming to create pop-up labs that can move from place to place to support training in terms of resourcing it. We've also established a multimedia production house. This is a unit within NEMISA that is income generating. And its vision is to use animation, video, audio, podcasts, and online platforms to advance and massifying skills to South Africans so they manage the OTT platform. And in there, we appoint around 30 interns, unemployed youth every 2 years, for them to deliver these services in MMPH. And in the process, they gain work experience as well, while assisting NEMISA to achieve its mandate. And moving on, just the Yarona Digital Literacy Project. This is our just provincial reach, or the provincial reach of the project. We started in KZN, and we created 57 employment opportunities. Then in the following year, we moved on to Limpopo. We created 58 employment opportunities. And we also went to Northwest, where we created 76 employment opportunities. And in this financial year, the project is in the Eastern Cape as well as the Northern Cape, where we are creating 50 and 35 employment opportunities respectively. In terms of research and innovation, NEMISA has established a research agenda because we believe that research will always inform what needs to be offered for us to be at the cutting edge. And therefore, we hosted Digital Skills Summit, Colloquium, and Datathon. With the Datathon, this is a hackathon. It's just that we named it differently because we use a lot of data and data science to arrive at solutions. And out of this, in 2020 and 2021, 2022, you can see the number of full papers that are published in journals that were produced. We work with universities and researchers in this regard. We've also, through the Datathon, in 2021, for instance, delivered 45 innovation solutions that talk to health, agriculture, education, and other sectors. In 2022, the same. We did 42, and in this year we did 17 innovation solutions. Our challenge there is that with the solutions is that commercializing them is a big challenge, and we are talking to CSIR and innovation hubs that we partner with to try and incubate those, including CEDA and CIFA, and in terms of their funding, to incubate those solutions so that they can be taken forward. Okay, and achievements and challenges in terms of monitoring and evaluation and impact, because we do this on an annual basis. We've established monitoring and evaluation framework, which I think is an achievement. Sorry for that typo there. And we also do an annual impact assessment that we complete on the NEMISA programs, where we do a tracer study to our beneficiaries to see how have they benefited. So the challenge that we have there is inadequate capacity to reach all training programs when we do these impact assessments or monitoring and evaluation. We do monitoring and evaluation quarterly reports, which are preceded by site visits to various programs to ensure that what is being delivered is done correctly. In terms of strategic risks, Chairperson, we identify this on a yearly basis, and we review them on a quarterly basis. We have identified the risk of widening gap between creative media and digital skills developments and NEMISA's ability to keep up with that. And we have mitigating actions there that we will be doing research. We also have cybersecurity incidents and attempts to attack our infrastructure. And we have developed a strategy for that, and we're monitoring this very closely. Also, inadequate internal research capabilities. It would be really good if we had a research unit, but in the new structure, we are making provision for that. And we're also working with various universities to strengthen and develop research chairs at those universities. Also, inadequate brand awareness and brand positioning. So we need to do this, especially drive brand awareness, especially in deep rural areas where people, are not reached most of the time. And we working with SABC as well to advance this. And organizational culture that we mentioned as well, it's a journey that will take some time, and complicated as well. So we do induction programs, but we also do surveys to get feedback, and we implement programs that are aiming at strengthening the organizational culture. Low employee morale, job dissatisfaction. As I indicated, this has to do with competitiveness in terms of salaries and other factors, which we are trying hard to work on to attract the right talent, but also inadequate proper digital transformation change management to align and enable the organization's employees to achieve the goals. So we have a change management plan. As I said, we have that transformation and change strategy that we are implementing and monitoring on a quarterly basis. So with that, Chairperson, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair. That brings us to the end of our presentation. Can you unshare, Trevor?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you very much, DM, and your collective, what do you call it, entity. Honorable members, I welcome the presentation and I give to you. I recognize that the chairperson is also in the meeting. I give to you for questioning, asking question or clarity or any comment that you like to make. This is your time. You can start now asking question. I'm checking on the platform for your hand, checking your hand. Okay, I recognize Honorable Mama Lindi Bibi, Mama Ngwenya. Those are the only two hands that I recognize. You can start, Mama, one of the two.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mama Chairperson, for the opportunity. And then greetings to the DM and also the team. I've got two questions, Chairperson, and also I appreciate the the presentation, which was very detailed and very interesting. What was more interesting was them mentioning the challenges, because other entities don't mention challenges up until we as a committee find out. Thank you for that. Chairperson, I've got two questions. The first one is on small SMEs. How do you then make sure that the digital skills you have offered them are being used effectively in their businesses to improve their operations? That's the first one. The second one is, in your presentation, you admit that marketing is a challenge, and this is an important institution for the public not to be aware of what it does. Now, my question is therefore, what are you doing to ensure that people out there know about NEMISA and what it offers in terms of digital skills? Thank you very much, Chairperson. Those were my two questions.
No, thank you very much, Mama. Now I'm going to give to Momongwe.
Thanks very much, Chair, and also thank you for the opportunity that you have gave me. Chair, I want also to thank the Deputy Minister and the team and the presentation. Chair, I've got few questions to ask. One, Chair, I want on one of the presentation target people in terms of service delivery is people with disability. Now, Chair, I want to check how many employees with disability do they have? And I want also to check, Chair, if people with disability are represented in all provinces in your institution. Why I'm asking asking for all provinces? I wanted to remind you that remember that we are NSOP and we are presenting 9 provinces. Hence, I wanted to check how many provinces that are in this institution. Chairperson, also, what is the current vacancy at their institution? And to what extent has the vacancy rate affected your performance to achieve your mandate? The last Chairperson question is in terms of the rural intervention programs, which focus on dignitary training. Chair, I wanted to check, when will this program be extended to all the rural communities to cover all the provinces? Ngiyabonga, Chairperson. Thank you, Kelebo. Thank you, Mama.
Now I will give to the chairperson of the committee to ask a question.
No, thank you very much, Memo Dise, for holding the fort. Greetings to the Deputy Minister as well as the board chairperson of NEMISA and the management. Thank you for the elaborate presentation. This structure is one of the structures or institutions that are doing very well. Also, you are doing a very important job in ensuring that you mainstream the importance of digital technology in our country so that we can find easy ways of processing service delivery, amongst other things. But to ensure that communication is a major tenet of a developmental state linked to in technological intelligence. So my first question would be, besides the funding you receive from the National Treasury via the department, do you have any other streams of revenue? Maybe put differently, is the budget allocation adequate enough for you to be able to fulfill the expected mandate on your part? The second question, I see that in your presentation, that delivering your digital skills program, you also make use of webinars and other virtual sort of summits. These digital platforms like webinars on Zoom, etc., automatically exclude a great number of our people in the countryside due to lack of access to digital devices and also because of network challenges. In such cases, how do you then ensure that NEMISA has a footprint in the rural areas and you give an opportunity for those in the margins of society to also make a meaningful contribution in the whole agenda of the digital hemisphere? It's very key that we do get a sense of how you close ranks insofar as that is concerned, because it may so happen that some of the most brilliant young people are missing an opportunity to tantalize their talent in this digital revolution that is taking place in our country, but also across the globe. The third question would be, I would like to hear you. Our country has a developmental plan because we are a development state. So in terms of the NDP, we also speak of the Africa agenda. And looking at the fact that South Africa is used by many, companies that come to invest in Africa. They use South Africa as a springboard to enter the continent. So it's important that that even the continent, the states, the 54 states that we have in Africa, look up to South Africa in terms of coming to benchmark on what we do. So I would want to get a sense of your Africa agenda, which is in line with the NDP, as well as the partnerships that you might have created in the continent for all intents and purposes, which are mutual beneficial to us as well as to our counterparts in the continent. That question is also linked, in the international arena. Do you have any partnerships which are meant to consolidate, our position through an entity like yours to ensure that you provide a world-class service for our own citizens, but also give access to our own citizens out there in the world so that they can also draw lessons to firm up and to enrich our processes locally. That would be what I would say, Chairperson. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Chair of the committee. Honorable Bibi, and I think, is it a legacy hand, or do you still want to say something again,
No, sorry,
Mama?
sorry, my chairperson, Mama. It's a legacy hand. Sorry.
Okay. Thank you very much. I don't see any hand. And now I'll give back to Deputy Minister, DG, and the entity. DM?
Thank you very much, and thanks for the questions. Let's ask Trevor and if there's some questions that the DG would like to comment on, especially this question of the Africa agenda, and I'll come and make the closing remarks and respond to some of the questions that came. Thank you.
DG?
Trevor, are you still on the platform?
Yes, dear. I'm on the platform. I'm ready to respond to you, dear.
Yeah, you can respond.
Thank you. I see that our board member would like to say something. Maybe Mr. Janani would like to say something before, through you, Chairperson.
Oh, okay. I would like to do so. There are several questions that have been asked, Chairperson, and what I like as the questions proceed, as the person who is asking the question proceeds, I pick up a big element of a proposal in the question. The question that, the first question that was asked that I want to respond on is the question of marketing. What the entity is doing to make sure that the work of NEMISA is publicized and it's well known. Besides the fact that we have a marketing strategy that seeks to reach all corners of the country, that seeks to make sure that our work is known through all the platforms. We also work through the collaborations with the institutions of higher learning, what we term the collabs. Through those collabs, there is a wide reach to the rural areas. So each of the collabs has a wide range of areas that they reach. And in the process, they are working with the municipalities. So our strategy, our marketing strategy, coupled with what is done through the collabs, because the collabs, they even reach those areas physically. And the Yaruna project, which is working directly with the municipalities, is one way of marketing. Besides the branding stuff that goes out there whenever there are events that link the department, our mother department. In responding to that, I also have a proposal to the committee, because fortunately, these are public representatives. We are sitting before the public representatives. We would also make a plea as part of the proposal that when they are making their public awarenesses, because this is touching the heart and soul of development of the rural communities. What work NEMISA is done should form part of what the politicians throughout the spectrum, it should form part of what they publicize in the rural areas where the constituencies are. That is just what I wanted to discuss. There was also a question of the issue of the people living with disabilities, how many employees, whether they are the representation from all the provinces. It's a good thing that in our latest strategy, in a strategy session in November, we requested a presentation from the Commission of Gender Equality, because we have prioritized this. We have we're not doing very well in terms of the representativity in terms of this sector. Though we encourage, when we advertise, that people with disabilities must apply, we are not getting most of what we would expect. But there is now a plan, after we have met with the Commission for Gender Equality, there was a proposal from them as to how They have even introduced the entity to the DPSA, that association that works with people with disabilities. But let me end there and give opportunity to Trevor, where I will come in as the need arises. Over to you, Trevor, through you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Ms. Lachaneni. I will just go in line with the way the questions were asked. And the first one had to do with SMMEs. And the question was, how do we make sure that the skills are being used by the SMMEs? So as I indicated, what we do on an annual basis, we carry out an impact assessment study, a tracer study that will check if these SMMEs are indeed, benefiting the impact that we would like them to benefit. And in that way, that is how we check. Already during the training, you already receive some results in terms of, feedback that comes through to say they've established a Facebook page, or another social media page, that they are working on a website and so forth. So that is how we do it. It's a complex process, though, that we believe we will need to improve by creating a database of these SMMEs. We already have it, where maybe more regularly we would be getting feedback from them. Our aim is also to develop a cloud platform for e-commerce as NEMISA that will support these SMMEs. So we are in the process of doing that. And the other one, I think Ms. Lachaneni addressed the marketing one. We have that strategy that we are implementing currently. We're also trying to forge partnerships with the likes of MDDA for us to get to community media. And recently, we're having good reception from community radio stations and community TV in terms of disseminating a word about NEMISA, as well as SABC. And Honorable Ngwenya asked about people with disabilities. Indeed, that's our big challenge. And we are aiming at creating those partnerships with these associations for persons with disabilities. We've also signed a memorandum of agreement with the Department of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities to start programs that are focused in this regard. And the other question was, how many provinces do we reach, or how do we make sure that we reach all the provinces? The answer to that is that currently NEMISA is already reaching all the provinces. Perhaps our biggest challenge in terms of footprint would be, reaching as many rural areas as possible in those provinces. And to that extent, we have started signing MOAs to extend the core lab model to TVET colleges, since they are closer to communities. We have already signed 15 MOAs. We are advancing towards signing all the 50, so that we can operationalize NEMISA offerings at those TVET colleges. We are also going into the schools, working with the Department of Basic Education. We are also starting to work. We've actually trained about 2,000 lecturers at community colleges for them to train more learners in those areas so that more people can be reached. So we believe that that strategy will take us a long way. And I think the other question had to do with the vacancy rate at NEMISA. So to answer that one, Chairperson, I need to indicate that currently we are advertising 34 vacancies that came up as a result of the organization structure that has been revised and approved by the minister. So that process is underway.
And we were aiming to finish it at the end of March. However, it looks like we will finish it in Q1 of the new financial year, since there were several delays in the processes, in consultations with the unions and so forth. So that is where we are with that. And the other question was, when will the programs be extended to reach rural areas? Indeed, with those strategies, with those entities that I mentioned, or the TVET colleges, community colleges, the schools, that is how we are intending to go and be clearly rural biased, identifying areas that we've never been to. We've been to many, but we need to establish presence there, since it's been about going in and leaving. So it needs to be a situation where we establish presence there. We've also implemented the Arona digital literacy program, which is mainly done or being delivered in rural areas as well. We are partnering with the Department of Rural Development and Land Reform. They have a program called the NARISEC program, which takes in young people, I think for a year, into work experience program where they serve communities. So we've agreed in the rural areas, working with traditional authorities as well. So we've agreed with them, we are about to commence that in the new financial year. We've agreed with them that since they are already paying those young people a stipend, how about if we train them in digital skills and creative media skills so that they can also support NEMISA? And that will expand our reach as well into rural areas. And the questions from the chairperson of the committee, Honorable Mkiva, there was a question around, besides the income that we receive via the department from the National Treasury, what is the other funding that we receive? So the answer to that is that since 2020, NEMISA board did revise their funding model so that it's not solely relying on the fiscus, since it's not enough. And we've since then gone out to raise funds, and we've received funds, for instance, from the bank SETA, from the P-SETA, so those are SETAs. We continue to expand that by applying to the likes of the UIF. We have not received feedback as yet, as well as the National Skills Fund and other entities like USASA, which are willing to fund us and to work with us. So we are on a trajectory to increase that significantly so that we can be able to massify the training programs. And we are also engaging the mining sector, especially in areas where they have to deliver on social labor plans, the communities around them, for the benefit of those communities, so that we deliver skills as well in that way, funded by the mining sector. That has not materialized as yet. We are just at the beginning of doing that initiative. And the other question was, as we use webinars, and this have a tendency of excluding people due to lack of access, especially in the rural areas. How do we ensure that these people are not excluded? As I indicated, we do have online learning. We have virtual, which means you train people in person, but others elsewhere can access the training. And we also have face-to-face. So we make sure that for such areas, we go in, we partner with the local municipality or the school or the TVET college or even the traditional authority to make sure that we deliver face-to-face. So there are programs that we ensure are delivered on a face-to-face so that we don't exclude the people. We are working also on making sure that there's an offline version of the online learning platform that will not require data. So that is has been researched on our behalf by the University of Mpumalanga, and we will be testing if that can work. And the other question, Chairperson, was relating to the NDP, in particular about the Africa agenda and what is NEMISA's Africa agenda and the partnerships that support this. Chair, that one, we have taken an initiative. We have actually partnered with an organization called STEM Power. It's a US-based organization, as well as GIZ, the German government funding agency. And with STEM Power, they donate labs, computer labs and engineering labs at various public institutions. So when they came to South Africa, they had already donated in 17 countries in Africa. And when they heard that we are doing what we are doing, they were very excited, especially from a content point of view, since they only contribute infrastructure. They requested that we deploy NEMISA's content in those countries, at those centers. These are based at universities in these countries. So we have since then piloted in Rwanda successfully, as well as Zimbabwe. And in the new financial year, we will be working at expanding this initiative to those 17 countries. And yes, and also with GIZ, we've been participating through them, funding us, participating in the Africa Digital Skills Summit, which moves from country to country annually, which actually gives us a very good perspective of what are the needs in the continent and what various countries are looking at in terms, and including even forming partnerships where necessary. So that is how we have advanced thus far. And in terms of international ones, international partnerships, myself as the CEO of NEMISA have been appointed as the Communications and Information Sector Committee of UNESCO. And we work very closely with UNESCO. We make input into the best practices that we are doing. The committee comprises as well of various organizations that contribute to the landscape of digital skills in South Africa. And therefore, in our reports, we do share with other national commissions in Africa. And we have a forum where we share practices, but also internationally, we participate in the platforms at UNESCO, to the extent that we will even be hosting the Secretary General of UNESCO in April. So that is really how it is playing out. There are other platforms like the YCs, as well as the ITU through DCDT that we are working with. And indeed, they value a lot of inputs that come from South Africa. And we also learn a lot from other countries in the process and from these institutions as well. So on that note, Chair, I will end there. Thank you very much. I'm not sure if there are further questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Trevor.
Okay.
DG, do you want to say something? Okay. It looks like the DG doesn't have more to say. I think Trevor has adequately covered the bulk of the question, Chair, but just to say as my concluding remarks, that indeed, just to confirm to the Chair, that indeed the allocation that we receive from Treasury, which is just over 100 million, is not sufficient for the demands that are existing in the market for digital skills. And it's as a result of that that we are working with the various partners through, like I indicated earlier on, that last year we hosted the National Digital Skills Conference in East London, where we received a lot of pledges from the private sector partners to work with us, because what we want to do is to pool the resources that exist in the sector, which are dedicated for skills development, particularly the digital skills development. We would like to pull them together and aggregate them and work with the various partners and see what impact can we make in making sure that we upskill our people in terms of the digital skills. So it is not sufficient, but however, there is that initiative. But also NEMISA itself is partnering with various organizations. I know of a partnership with BankSita that is just concluded recently, where there was a memorandum of understanding that was signed, through which NEMISA was identified as a training partner of BankSita, and they've just completed the training, which was over 50 million rands. There was also a partnership with the Military Veterans Department, where NEMISA was identified as a partner to train the military veterans. There's also a partnership with the BankSita. So that is a creative way of trying to raise additional funding to pursue the mandate of skills development. As you know, honorable members, that in the era where we are, digital skills are very important, particularly digital literacy. And in as far as that is concerned, there is a program that NEMISA has got, which is called Yarona Digital Ambassadors Program. That is a program that we feel very passionate about, because it makes a direct impact in the communities. We have been working with a number of provinces up to so far to roll it out. Unfortunately, the funding is becoming a problem, but would like to see that NEMISA allocates some sufficient resources to that program. It does impact the community. So what the program does, it recruits unemployed graduates in the communities, and NEMISA train them and allocate them the necessary digital tools, the gadgets, the laptop, computer, and after training them, working with the municipality, we then unleash this unemployed graduates. Of course, we give them a stipend. That way, we also create employment opportunities. And then they go to the communities, and then they train the communities on the basic digital literacy, on how to operate a basic computer and all of that. And so this program is impacting a number of areas. For instance, we worked with the Buffalo City municipality. We went to launch this project. They requested us to increase the number that we could recruit. We normally recruit about 20. They requested us to increase to up to 100. We did that, and it really had an impact there. We launched this program in Limpopo, in the Northern Cape, in Northwest, so across the country, and it does that necessary impact. I think one of the programs that Trevor did highlight, which I think for us is quite key as it relates to employment creation, is this program of cell phone repairs. which we are doing it with a number of institutions, particularly the collabs. We had one in Walter Sisulu University. We went to launch one. And also in Central University of Technology in Mangaung. But the program does exist in a number of provinces. So here we also recruit mostly unemployed graduates or young people in the main, and we give them these skills. And this is the necessary skills that enable them to go to the market. As you know that our market, particularly this market of cell phone repairs, it is quite a very big market. But unfortunately now that market is having a lot of foreign nationals. And some of these foreign nationals are not in the country legally. So we are trying to reclaim that space to make sure that South Africans are participating in that the growing market. So Chair, just to emphasize those few points, but I think the rest of the questions Trevor has been able to cover. Thank you very much, Chair, and over to you.
Thank you very much, TM and your team, DG, CEO, and other members of the board. Chairman of the committee, I don't know, before I release the DM and his team, do you like to say something before they go? Chairman?
Yeah, Memo, this I'm covered on my side, ne? Just to express my appreciation again to you for steering the ship. I think from my side, I think I'm okay with that. But let me thank the DM for always making himself available to come and honor our invitations and our meetings. We really don't take that for granted. You do represent the department quite very well. It's a pity that we haven't had an opportunity to have the minister here on board. But we hope that maybe by the time we hold our concluding meetings for this term of parliament, we will have a sight of him and his presence. We know that Wednesdays are very difficult because they are cabinet days. So thank you, Minister, Deputy Minister. Also thank the DG, who is always at our disposal, together with the DDGs, that whenever we call upon you to come here, you are here. NEMISA, you are doing a good job. May you continue with that job. And I just want to advise that may you please, as part of your international strategy, consider firming up your relations with the BRICS countries, because the BRICS is on top of our agenda as a country. And those big economies which constitute BRICS are very strategic in terms of the work that you do. You can benefit a lot out of that. And maybe as part of your strategy, it's something that you need to work on. Thank you very much for coming. We wish you all the best as you grow the organization and taking the advice from the honorable members of parliament. Thank you so much. I think that would be my summation, Chairperson, on my side. Thank you.
No, thank you very much, Chair of the committee. Also, let me thank the Deputy Minister. Like the Chair said, he's always availing himself when he's around. We thank you for that. Keep it up for doing that every time, because Sometimes when we don't see our principals in our meeting, we get frustrated and say, no, maybe they don't take us serious, but always when you are in the meeting, like we know even the minister of this committee, always he's coming to the meeting when it is not Wednesday, because we know Wednesday is the cabinet meeting. By so saying, Honorable Deputy Minister Mapulane, you are released with your entity, and please make sure that this entity doesn't go down. It must keep it where it is or go up, because it's not usually to see the entity always clean audit. Most of our entities are struggling, but this one, because it's on a good state, make sure that it doesn't go down. It must be there always. Thank you, Chairperson. DM, you are released with your team. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and to the rest of the honorable members, have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you. Amanda, while they are leaving the platform, the minutes of the previous meeting, while we continue with the business of the committee, how many set of the minutes that do we have today?
It's one set, Chair.
One set. Okay, thank you very much. Honorable members, I put in front of you the minutes of our previous meeting for the adoption. Can someone move and someone second?
Chairperson, it moves for the adoption of the minutes.
Thanks, Chair.
Yes,
Ngwenya second, the minutes. Thank you.
thank you very much, honorable members. It's now the previous minutes have been duly adopted. We thank you. There is nothing left. It was the last item. Let me take this opportunity to thank you, to avail yourself. This meeting is truly, it's urgent. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mama.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Mama. And Baba.
Okay, see you 2 o'clock.